At the London Design Summit, joined again by Danny Batty. Welcome to you.
Thank you very much.
From Vista.
Yep.
And we're here to talk about the BMW Group UK Retailer Conference Week.
That's right.
Okay, which is a long title.
It is a long time. It was a long week.
It was a long week.
Yeah.
How was the week?
So traditionally, the different areas of BMW Group UK have done their different annual conferences. They had a new MD that started in October 2014, and he decided to pull them all together within the same week. So there were 4 of their major strategy conferences back to back during the week, but also evening events as well. So in total there were 8 different events over 4 days.
Okay, so it's a pretty massive week for you. So what did you at Vista need to do to pull all that together?
So we provided the full end-to-end support for the conference. So that's everything from taking the messaging, crafting the content, making sure it landed properly, looking at what we wanted the audience to feel, think and do as a result of the event. We managed the digital, we managed the design, we built everything on site ourselves, and obviously with that being a back-to-back event, we really need to box clever in terms of the level of reusability and turnaround times, not just for installing new print, but changing stage sets around from day to night, and completely changing the look and feel. So we did absolutely everything from start to finish.
That's huge. And for it to be one company, to just have Vista doing all of these different elements, why was that important? Because usually when you think about a conference week, different companies will come in and do different elements of it oftentimes. So why was it important that it was from one perspective, one view?
I think it gave them the advantage because they had consistency. So there was no distilling of messaging from supplier to supplier. Everything came to us, it stayed with us. We interpreted it, we briefed it back. Was that what they wanted? So there was no going elsewhere and kind of losing the message along the way.
So in terms of how other conferences work, that's the difference. It managed to be successful for BMW Group because it was that one company that delivered that message for them or helped them deliver the message that they needed.
Absolutely, yeah. And that forged a really great relationship, and we continue to work with them now to ensure that the strategy is still landing.
Okay, so what is that strategy? Tell me more about that.
So there were 3 pillars that they looked at, but basically it was around, I guess, taking the business on in a more retailer-focused way of thinking. So not thinking about sales as in a stuffy, kind of sleazy type way, but creating like an open door approach and making it feel much more like a high street shop.
And for the group itself, how does it position their business in considering others out there within the marketplace? What makes it more successful for them, this approach?
I think it makes people easier to walk in. I think internally it makes their job easier because they're really reducing the complexity within the organisation, so it makes their job easier so they can spend more time developing relationships with their clients, forging those relationships through from sales right through to after sales as well. So the aftercare when you've bought a car, how do you then keep that relationship going? So it allows them to focus on the things that matter to the customer.
And from your perspective at Vista, how does it differentiate your business, the way that you approach this type of project?
I think we tried for a while to build a relationship with BMW, and for a while didn't quite get it right. And I think that was because we didn't really understand what their brand meant. I think doing it all in one week has made us think differently. So we talk quite a lot about how we can offer an end-to-end service and how that benefits the client. And I think this was a really strong example of, actually, we can do the film for you, we can do the online registration for you. It makes it easier for them, but it gives us a chance to show our full capabilities, which I think stands us in good stead moving forward with them in the relationship.
What was the easiest part of the job and the hardest?
I think the hardest was looking at 2 different brands. So you've got BMW and Mini, which are both completely different brands. They have completely different values, very, very different, and how we changed the environment and understood both brands well enough to be able to transfer that across the event. I think the easiest thing was working internally with them because they were so open to our ideas and allowed us that freedom and flexibility to challenge them.
That's great, a good client relationship.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.